What if he's doing the ultimate magic distraction trick with Doge, Tesla taking over NASA?
Again, I think it's great that he rescued those astronauts. Somebody needed to do it. He obviously is trying to ingratiate SpaceX into being the new NASA.
Yeah, he's playing all his cards. Yeah, I will push back though, Reese. You know, I think Katy Perry could have just saved him while she was up there. You know, so she
He's come out with some interesting news, and I'm sure most of you guys have heard, but the word on the street is that he plans to return to Tesla at more of a full-time position toward the end of May. Now, he has said that he's going to just significantly reduce his time at Doge, so we'll see how that works out. But the interesting little twist on this is that what if this was all, maybe not all, but what if a big part of this was an elaborate plot to take over the governmental arm of space exploration? Because he has been after NASA for years. He has been a part of all of that, and he has been influencing it. But now maybe this was actually, you know, opportunity arose. He went in with Doge, and now he's got a lot more government contacts and connections, and he has had a lot more involvement with NASA. And you'll probably not find this very surprising, but NASA was one of the government arms that experienced one of the harshest cuts from the Doge program. And
he's like, you're not needed because I've got a company over here that's better.
Right. Well, not just better, but actually kind of like taking over from the inside out is what it appears on the surface. And so
interesting.
What if he's doing the ultimate magic distraction trick with Doge, Tesla taking over NASA? And now, so one of the things that people have been reporting from NASA is that he has been very intentionally taking all of the effort and the energy and the focus. I mean, he's affecting it. He's not like personally in there, you know,
right?
But taking the focus from the supposed moon mission that they've been working on for the last, like, who knows how long, and redirecting that over to this new Mars mission that he's been really wanting to do, which he's been pretty vocal about wanting to go to Mars. But what he hasn't been vocal about is how much he is absolutely just pressuring NASA and all the people there to go that way instead of what they've been trying to do. And it seems like SpaceX might just kind of be infiltrating in the middle of NASA to take it over. So what do you guys think of that? Is that a good reason for him?
Man, I think that's a very interesting point and idea, because I could definitely see that being the case. I mean, there's no way with a brain like Elon Musk that he has, there's no way he didn't have that thought when he went into Doge.
Right.
You know,
oh, you know what? I never thought of this before. I guess this is similar to what I want to do.
Exactly. I mean, I even think about like Ukraine, you know, back in, I think it was 2022 or 2023, where, you know, they couldn't communicate. They didn't have the communication. The communications had been cut across the country, basically, in a significant way. And Elon Musk said, well, we're going to bring communication back by offering free Starlink to all of,
right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
All of the Ukrainian government, you know, or whatever, you know, and however they need to use it. And so he brought that infrastructure back overnight for free, you know, to them. And so I think there, you know, even that could have been, in my mind, a publicity stunt, because all of the eyes of the world were on Ukraine, Russia at the moment, you know, and Elon Musk essentially steps in to save the day, you know, and it's like, it could be doing the same thing now with, you know, with NASA. It's like, okay, I've been given a huge bit of leverage here. You know, maybe he's using it for personal gain in that sense and trying to get his foot in the door, you know, with the government and space exploration. Ryan, let me bring you back in on this other one if I can. Nope. Okay, well, Ryan's invisible for the moment, so.
Got some spotty internet down there in Brazil. Speaking of Starlink, I wonder if he's using Starlink or not.
Yeah, Ryan, we need to get this show sponsored by Starlink so we can get some better internet for you down there in Brazil. Maybe Elon will give it to us for free. We'll see.
Did you have any other thoughts about that, Troy?
No, man, Reese, go ahead. I love the idea, because I'm like, I feel like that's something he's definitely thought of. And if there's hefty cuts happening, or at least, you know, Doge is putting hefty cuts towards NASA. Now, whether that is ethically, you know, okay or not, I would say probably leaning towards not, you know. Right. But as him being a businessman, you know, I'm sure he thought about it. So go ahead, Reese. What do you think?
I was going to say, from past experience or past history and stuff that Elon Musk has done, he definitely knows that it is a good thing to embed yourself into the government establishment to take advantage of as many credits and that sort of influence as possible. This is something that I don't think Elon Musk has been very vocal about, because people can be really critical about this kind of thing, you know, and there's a lot of opinions, you know, good or bad. I think a lot of times it is bad because it's what is termed as like crony capitalism. Essentially, it's like an unholy marriage between big business and the government, where it's like,
I like that. That's really good. The unholy marriage between the two. That's
you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. You know, that sort of thing that's occurring. So he's been kind of quiet about it, but for the longest time, and I've seen people criticize Elon Musk about this because, you know, especially since he's come out and be like, oh, there's lots of government waste, we're going to cut all this government waste. People have been like, wait, hold on, Elon Musk, your companies, especially his Tesla companies, because it's they're green vehicles, electric vehicles, which you could argue if they're really good for the environment or not. But your company has taken massive advantage of government tax cuts and green credits and all that kind of stuff, both for the company and also for individuals to be able to afford the cars. And that just goes into the business plan. Like, if the government is going to provide that stuff, obviously he's going to take advantage of it. I'm not blaming him for that. However, where it gets kind of sticky is then when the business leaders are like pushing the government to do certain things. So yeah, he definitely knows about all that stuff. Not only has he been using his proximity now to Trump and the government to be able to push his mission to Mars, and then of course, I think it's great that he rescued those astronauts. Somebody needed to do it. Somebody needed to rescue those 3 astronauts. He obviously is trying to ingratiate SpaceX into being the new NASA. And honestly, I'm not saying that's necessarily bad. It'll probably be a better NASA. NASA hasn't really been doing anything for years anyways. So if we want to get to Mars someday, and that's actually like a priority.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Yes, SpaceX is the one to do it. But it's not just space exploration. He's not just space exploration and also electric vehicles. Even recently, I was seeing quotes, the new direction he wants to take Tesla. It's not cars. Cars isn't the future because cars has a very thin profit margin. He wants to take Tesla towards AI and robots. That's what he wants to do. What did he do when he ingratiated himself with Donald Trump? He started affecting AI. I don't know if you guys know about this, but he's had a huge, years-long public feud with OpenAI. And OpenAI is who makes ChatGPT. And OpenAI, he used to be on the board for OpenAI. He was an early investor. Now he is suing them. He criticizes them all the time, and he's tried to buy them out, which they refuse to because he doesn't like what they're doing, because they have a certain vision for the future and how AI is going to be. And they whip up a lot of scare. OpenAI literally, like, part of their job as a company is to scare people and being like, AI is super dangerous, guys, because they want the government to regulate the AI industry so they can be at the top. They want regulatory capture. They want everybody else not to be able to make AI, and OpenAI to be the only government-approved safe AI. They want to be the government AI. Elon Musk, honestly, I don't know exactly what his vision is. He might want something similar. Obviously, he would want his AI to be the only approved government AI. He seems to be more, a little more on like the open source side. He seems to be like not quite as
decentralized.
He seems to be a little more decent, a little less corrupt sounding than OpenAI does, in my personal opinion. But he has a vision, and he wants the government to enact his vision. So he absolutely is, and I think will continue using the government as much as he can to help enact his vision for the future, going to Mars, having robots. Like, he wants the government to support that stuff, and he wants obviously to get government contracts to do that kind of stuff. Like, I think that he's definitely knows what he's doing in that regard.
Yeah, he's playing all his cards. Yeah, I will push back though, Reese. You know, you said that something about like Elon Musk being the one who's like, well, no one else is going to save these astronauts, so I'm going to save them. I think Katy Perry could have just saved them while she was up there. You know, so she
I mean, she probably could have. I think she could have saved them just as easily as Elon did, personally, because I don't really think that anything was going on up there. But you know, that's a different story.
Don't make fun of Katy Perry. She's the first female astronaut.
Views, we'll have to do another episode and dive into that.
Yeah, that's a whole different story.
I don't know, man. With some of the videos, I'm like, I think they got me convinced that the whole Katy Perry thing didn't really happen. So anyway,
yeah, that was good. That was fun.
That was pretty funny, but whatever happened there. Anyways, let's get back to Elon Musk.